Hey music friends, this is Davi Vasc. I'm a music composer for games, and this video is sponsored by Arknights Endfield. There's a new update out for Arknights Endfield. It's called Homecoming. Apparently there's some amazing music in it, and the people from Arknights Endfield want to know what I think of some of the music. So we're gonna go over some tracks today. We're gonna go over some of the first ones quickly just to get a feel for the vibe of the music in the update. And then at the end of the video, we're gonna do a deep dive into the track that I'm most excited for, which is the new boss track for the new update. So let's go. All right, let's go. This first one is apparently a preview of the new update. This should give us an overview.
They're doing everything they can
there's voice
to
acting.
open the very large rift. But
The music is very
target
synthy.
not Wu Ling. It's you, Endman.
Okay.
The very large rift and its changes. Are they a trap?
An obvious one. The very large rift is increasingly active.
Listen to
cannot
the
afford to
harmony.
ignore it.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, with these few videos, I'm not gonna be stopping too much because I want to make room for the deep dive analysis of the boss at the end of the video. But I just want to highlight this. Look at the chords that they're using here. Obviously, this is a preview for the new update, so they want to hype us up. They want to create expectations of something fun, something exciting. So look, they're using happy chord, then another happy chord, and it resolves into a sad chord to create some tension, create some adversity, right? But that's very textbook stuff for trailers, right? A rising sequence of exciting chords. That's what they're doing here.
The
Look,
very large rift is increasingly
Look.
active. We cannot afford to ignore it.
happy chord, right? Again. Oh, and now they.
I remain faithful that all dying universes rely upon your arbitration for survival.
The music is a lot more synthy
It
than I
is the
expected.
weeping
Very
wound
electronic.
in every Wulinger's
And
heart.
it,
The missing half torn from our side.
looking at the video, it feels very appropriate because the video
The
is
secret
very.
is not mine.
Seems very
Davi.
sci-fi. This is my first time looking at
Memory has left
Arknights.
you, but you shall witness and choose. This is
And again, they're
trust
doing
me.
the rising sequence of chords again. But now it's a little bit quieter, more introspective. Okay,
Now it's my
it's building up.
to do the same.
Oh, there's vocals. Yeah, and this that they're showing now is the new character, I think. Arcane. It's interesting that as soon as the new character showed up, the vocals started. I wonder if there's a connection there. As if the voice represents the character, you know?
Twinkle, twinkle. My latest performance is about
And
to
they
start.
continue using the exciting sequences of chords. But now... the sequence is slightly
Don't
different.
blink. The star is rising.
Oh wow, look at this rise. Look at this. I told you guys I wasn't gonna be stopping too much on the first ones, but I can't help myself because this is very interesting. Look, at the beginning they were doing, remember, just an adventurous, exciting sequence of rising chords, and now they're doing, look. Did you see that they're using more nuanced chords as soon as the new characters for the update showed up on the screen? So I think they're trying to give us a more personal, more nuanced vibe about these characters. These are more nuanced chords, you know, with more specific emotions. Look how they're doing it. Look. This last heroic chord in particular is very exciting. There's a lot of positivity in it, right? There's a lot of heroism. Yeah, Homecoming, that's the new update. That's the new update. Probably they're gonna give us a more detailed overview. Oh, choirs. Wow. That's Bulgarian choir. That's really cool, man. Dude, that's so cool. So, very nice blend of the violin, which is an acoustic instrument, with the more electronic aspects. Right, voices, dude. I was really impressed with the Bulgarian choir from before. I wonder if they use it more. It's very. It's kind of common in sci-fi stuff like this to use the Bulgarian choir. Yeah, there's new areas. Wow. Really fun rhythm there. Oh! I think I heard a little hint. This. That's what I was about to say. What kind of flute is this? Interesting. At first, I almost want to say it's a shakuhachi, which is a Japanese flute, but I don't know, it sounds different. It sounds almost synthy. The shakuhachi obviously suggests Japan and something Eastern, something Asian, but it doesn't feel like a raw shakuhachi. It seems synthy somehow, like electronic. So I think that's actually appropriate because the game is very sci-fi from what I can see. So it's blending the Asian, the Japanese aspect with, you know, sci-fi with something synthetic and electronic. Man, I love the use of vocals. Very unintrusive, I feel like, use of vocals. A lot of times, games can go overboard with vocals. Vocals are very easy to feel, to become a little overwhelming, a little overbearing in video game music. Oh, Wooling. Didn't we react to the music of Wooling a while ago in the channel? It's the city, right? Dude, amazing violin. I wonder to what extent they blend orchestra with the electronic stuff, you know? I wonder if they do that more. The vocals are there again. Really cool melody. And they, you know, just a little insight into what they did. You know, that's kind of video game trailer music 101. You know, before they were doing that rising sequence of chords, remember at the beginning. Now they're still doing very exciting chords, but now they raise the key of the song. What does that mean? The key of the song is a group of notes that the composer is allowed to use in the song. So when you raise the key, you replace that group of notes that the composer is using for a group that is equivalent. It's like essentially the same, but every single note is higher pitched, right? So the whole song becomes higher pitched. So the song was based on this chord before, on this key, the sad key. Now the trailer is based on this key. It's higher, right? Look at this change. It becomes higher. So they do that because, you know, this is a 6-minute preview. They want to create a sensation of change and create some dynamic within the music and increase the excitement as the trailer goes, so it doesn't get stale. Yeah, I thought I could hear this before, and now I hear it again. I feel like this is an erhu. You know what an erhu is? Is that kind of Chinese violin kind of instrument? I feel like I've heard it before, and now I hear it again. Did you hear? Yeah, and I heard the shakuhachi before, so there's clearly an Asian tone to this. Yeah, and the shakuhachi again. I feel like that's shakuhachi, I'm not sure. But there's definitely an Asian feel to it. That's such a cool blend, man. There's a piano there, kind of jazzy, funky piano. That was really cool, man. That was really cool. Next up, we have a preview of the new character of the new update. The character is called Arcane, so let's go. All right, so this is all about the new character, apparently. Let's see. Okay. Vocals? Oh, that's her. A childish, playful voice. And again, very synthy. Oh, it's about to... Oh! Oh, that's cool. First of all, I just want to highlight something. Again, I said I wouldn't start, but I can't help myself. It starts with the 4-beat measure. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a binary meter. The beat measure that I'm talking about is the pattern of beats that the rhythm of the song is based on. This part is a binary meter, which means that it could be a 4 or an 8, right? And a binary meter has a certain feel to it. It feels more straightforward, you know, more kind of standard. I feel like most music that you heard in your life is probably binary meter. It feels kind of straightforward, right? But then they transition it into a ternary meter, which is a measure based on 3 beats. And the 3-beat measure sounds a lot more playful. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Feels dancey, feels playful, more lively. I feel like that. What they're trying to say about the character here, about the character's personality. It feels like a childish, playful, mostly benevolent character, I feel. We should pay attention to the lyrics too. It should give us some hints. Listen to the... Can you hear the glockenspiel? That's a funny name for an instrument. On the right speaker is the tinkly doom 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 kind of playful music box kind of sound. Can you hear it? That's another sign, another indication, I would say, about the benevolence, about the innocence aspect of this character, I would say. It's a childish kind of music box kind of sound, right? Man, really cool. Man, and the percussion, the synth percussion work, both on this track and with the previous track, is really cool. There's a ton of work put into the percussion. And again, I feel like this is Bulgarian choir. Such a cool touch. Okay. A little moment of... little moment of quietness, right? It's gonna explode again. And there's images of the sea, of like a pigeon, birds, guided by echo. Dude, that's cool. Yeah, what I get from this character is it seems like there's an innocent, playful side to this girl. That's interesting, man. Dude, but now I'm excited because now is the main course, so to speak, of the video. We're gonna do a deep dive into the new boss theme. The boss is called Alleikhreos, so let's go. This is the Alleikhreos boss fight and boss theme. Okay, it's gonna start slow, I assume, because as far as I understand, this is a big deal of a boss. It's probably gonna be... They're gonna milk it, you know?
very large rift.
Okay, very large rift. Very synthy. I'm continuously surprised by how electronic this soundtrack is. I feel like that might be the most differentiating factor about Arknights Endfield music, because none of the other similar games that I've heard to this day have such a focus on electronic music, I feel. Okay, percussion. Oh, build up anticipation. I want you on your knees. Oh, is that the boss singing this? Whoa. And they're just holding this. Look how they're holding this ominous base, right? This is again, the boss is not fully on display yet, so they're trying to create anticipation. They're just holding one note on the bass. They're just doing this, right? It doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't change. Music is mostly about change, it's about movement. So when they don't create movement, when they don't create change, it creates a sense of anticipation, of anxiety. You want the music to go somewhere and it never goes. So that's really good for creating anticipation for the boss that's about to show up right now. Oh, okay. I want you on your knees. I mean, oh wow. The impact of the music was really well synchronized with the boss landing. He speaks another language, that's cool. They're making room in the music for the dialogue right now. Wow, look at this.
Refuse.
I refuse. Okay, dude, that's really cool. As soon as she said, I refuse, the orchestra came up. I was about to say that. Before the orchestra came up, the music was kind of hollow, right? There was just the bass that I talked about being held. Ominous, kind of intimidating bass. And not much else. There was not like chords or melodies or anything, just percussion and this bass. So the music sounded kind of overly, look at this, overly physical, kind of soulless. But I feel like that's an intimidation tactic, you know? Even now, there's not much going on in terms of harmony. It feels hollow and lifeless and emotionless. Like, yeah, look at that. Even with this big impact, it's mostly percussion and just this bass that I talked about before. And the boss seems like a statue guy, right? He's a statue dude. I feel like that's why they're trying to make the music hollow and lifeless. To reflect the coldness of the stone guy, of the statue guy.
I refuse.
And then the strings come. Can you hear it? I feel like in that sense, the orchestra probably represents the human side of this conflict. Choirs. Definitely the human side of this conflict, the choirs. Okay. Okay.
Behold, my blade shall still be turned unto thee. Pray, forgive my transgression.
Yeah, he has that kind of lifeless statue vibe, right? It's a synthetic kind of vibe. Alleikhreos. Choirs.
Wielder of that sword.
Okay, they changed key. That's unusual. Remember I told you about raising the key? They did that in the first trailer in order to keep the trailer engaging, to keep the stakes going up, to keep the energy going up. They raised the key to make everything a little bit more tense, a little bit more exciting. This time is interesting. They started on this key, and now they went down. They lowered the key. In a sense, that lowers excitement a little bit. Why they did that? I have two guesses. First of all, it sounds a bit depressing when you lower the key. So again, seems like a musical intimidation tactic. Like you're on this key high up here, then as soon as the fight starts, you lower the key, so it sounds kind of pessimistic, and it makes the boss look more intimidating. Right? Because the song just, as soon as you start fighting the boss, the song gets a little bit more depressing. Another guess that I have is that, as I can see here in my video, this is an 11-minute video. It's probably a long fight, so they have to pace themselves. In terms of intensity, they have to pace themselves. They have to start low intensity, so that they slowly build up in intensity, and by the end of the fight the intensity is huge. But in order to build up to be huge, they can't start already very high, because you reach a ceiling of intensity. You know, they have to start low and slowly build up the intensity. Okay. Oh wow. Oh, that's cool. Look at this. They're looking at a little tutorial on the screen right now, and the music has changed to accommodate for the tutorial. That's so cool. Look at the change here. This is pretty cool. Like, percussion, by the way, almost sounds like club music, like nightclub music. And then the tutorial is gonna come up. Yeah, look. Wow, that's really cool, man. That's a really cool example of dynamic interactive music in games. The music responds to what the player is doing in the game. So when the tutorial comes up, the player needs to focus on reading, on learning whatever the tutorial is teaching. So they change the music. They dynamically, seamlessly change the music to a more toned down version of it. It seems like there's a filter over it. It sounds less intrusive, and it lets the player focus on reading. Right, it's the same song, they just switched to a tutorial version, to a lesser version of it, less intense version of it. And again, even though now the fight is already going on, there's not much in terms of harmony. I feel like that's supposed to, again, to represent the lifelessness and the inhuman aspect of the boss, I feel like. Oh, cool. Cool piano. I wonder if the music is gonna become more human as it goes. Because right now, I feel like the music is mostly representing the boss, right? As the fight goes on, as the player starts to win, I wonder if the music is going to become more human. Again, look, they're still holding the base from before. Okay, is that first phase down? Oh, that's a complete change, like harmonically? Okay.
A torch to guide the return of King.
That was a complete change. Let me show you this. Remember, I was telling you, the music I feel like was restraining itself for the sake of pacing, for the sake of progression and, you know, creating a sense of anticipation. They were just holding this, remember? At the same time that this helps with the sense of anticipation, it also feels lifeless, which goes well with this kind of boss. But then, as soon as he created these kinds of wings on his back, complete change harmonically. I expect from here, the music is gonna get more dynamic and slowly more human, I feel like. They're gonna start exploring more nuanced human emotions. And by the end, I have a suspicion that the music is gonna be very human. It's gonna be heroic and it's gonna start reflecting more the hero characters, the player characters, as opposed to the boss. So let me show you these chords. So check this out. Complete change compared.
It matters not.
Look how many chords there are.
Burn I shall.
It really is like a musical representation of exactly what's happening on the screen. Like his outer shell is breaking and something's coming out, like power's coming out, and his revealing his full power is exactly what's happening musically too. Because before it's like he was restrained by this shell. Remember this? Remember this? It's like he couldn't break away from this, right? The music was all this, and then as soon as the musical limitation breaks, we get exposed to all these kinds of new emotions, right? And here it almost feels like he's flexing with these chords. He's showing like a full extent of emotion, sad chords, exciting chords, and like it's like he's showing his new capabilities, right? He's showing what he's capable of. Okay, so that's a new phase. I wonder how many phases there are. The guy is level 70, by the way. It's pretty high, I assume. Wow, listen to the music. Is that guitar? Electric guitar? I was not expecting that. Wow.
Moves, let's feast.
It became heavy metal. Wow, that was unexpected. That's such a... Man, such a unique approach. And there's vocals too. Yeah, man, listen to the double kick drum. And the choirs are always there. Man, this goes so hard. No matter the phase that we're in, the choirs are always there. The choirs are good to give a sense of scale to this conflict and a little bit of a sense of humanity too. Dude, look at this. It becomes synthetic and electronic. And of course, heavy metal, it's great to increase the sense of danger, the sense of aggressiveness, right? Remember, everything in the song seems related. Everything is very well connected. I was talking about the husk of music, the sense that the music was a husk of physicality and aggression at the beginning. Remember, because they were not using emotions, they were not using chords or melodies. They were just using this and a bunch of percussion. Then they gave us a glimpse of emotion, a glimpse of power during the phase change. Now they transitioned into heavy metal, which is a very much aggressive, very much physical type of music. Is a type of music that relies very heavily on just exactly the things that they were doing at the beginning of the song. This kind of holding one single note, not using a lot of nuanced emotions, relying a lot on percussion, right? So they're leaning very heavily into that kind of physical feeling in this song, but also leaning a lot on synths, right? That seems like a synthetically made boss, so that's very appropriate. And by the way, I just noticed Arcane, the new character, is right there, so they're using the new character on the new boss. I assume they have some story, right? The new boss probably has some relevance to the new character's story. Third phase, third phase, third phase. Man, is he gonna change completely again? Very versatile soundtrack, man. Anticipation? Okay, now we're getting into orchestral. Dude. Remember what I said at the beginning? I had a suspicion this was gonna happen. That the song was gonna slowly become more human. Cool, very cool. Wow, is that over? That's not a new phase. I think he's dead. I think he's dead. Wow, that's cool. Remember at the very beginning, as soon as the character said, "I refuse," the strings came up. At that very moment, I had a sensation. Okay, they want the orchestra to symbolize humanity, to symbolize the good guys, right? Because as soon as he said it, the strings came up. So I had a suspicion. The song is gonna start synthetic and intimidating and kind of that husk of physicality, emotionless, right? And then it's gonna transition into more orchestral, more human, more emotion, right? And it seems that's what happened here. It happened later than I assumed. I assumed it was going to happen during the fight, and apparently it happened during the post-fight cutscene, it seems. But let me show you some of these new chords, just how more human, more hopeful, more positive they are. Check this out. Did you see that? The heroic chords, positive chords. At the same time, it feels very heroic and positive, like you're winning. I also feel like they're holding back on the positivity. They're holding back on the positivity a little bit, because look, they do the sad chord, then the heroic chord. This is a very happy chord, by the way, the heroic chord. Then happy chord. Here, I was almost expecting them to do a heroic rise, to rise up the chords in a similar way that they did in the first trailer track, the preview track that we heard before. But then they went down into a sad chord, right? So I feel like you're winning, it's positive, it's heroic, but at the same time they're holding back. They don't want this to be an absolute moment of happiness, at least yet. I wonder why. Let's see what happens. Maybe there's some bittersweet aspect to this fight. Like one of those situations where you win, but you're not entirely happy. Like there's a bittersweet aspect to it. Yeah, I feel like what's happening now, that's happening now corroborates what I just said, I think. Because it's one of those situations where you win, but nobody's happy, you know? I feel like that's what's happening. Look how sad the music sounds. Right? I don't know what's happening in the story. Oh, okay, cool. Can you hear it? There's a sense of victory, but there's a sense of melancholy as well. That's what I was saying before. It's like they're holding back on the happy feelings of this. You win, you did what you had to do, but you're not entirely happy. That's what I feel, at least. I don't know what's happening in the story. There's a bittersweetness to it. There's a sense of a tragedy. Like you won, but there's still like something sad, you know? That's the feeling I get from it. From then holding back from the completely happy rising sequence of chords to this kind of introspective melancholic moment here at the end. And then what they show there at the end, I assume, is like people back in town, yeah, witnessing what happened. But listen how bittersweet this victory sounds. They're not going all out on the positivity. Dude, intriguing. I wonder what happens in the story. Dude, but that was the reaction. That was the boss theme. That was the Homecoming update preview. That was the first video. And then the Arcane new character overview. That was really cool, man. What I was most impressed with the soundtrack of Arknights Endfield was how non-reliant they are on orchestral music, honestly. When I listen to music from games like these, I'm always expecting the orchestra, and there is orchestra to a certain extent, but there's so many surprising things, dude. One of the tracks sounded kind of Asian, kind of Japanese, kind of Chinese. There's a ton of synth. It sounds so electronic. There is orchestra, of course. There's violin, there's vocals, there's Bulgarian choir. There's so much variety in it. And obviously, so much love, so much care put into the music. That's really exciting, man. I feel like this is the kind of game that is perfect for people that watch this channel, because obviously there's a lot of love put into the music. Hey, did you know there's a new update out for Arknights Endfield? You should know that. I've been saying that for like 30 minutes. That's the whole point of the video. So there's gonna be links on the description, on pinned comment, for you guys to find out more about Arknights Endfield and check out the new update 1.4 Homecoming. So thank you to the people of Arknights Endfield for sponsoring this video. Guys, check out the game. There's obviously a lot of love put into the music, which I know you guys are super into. And remember, whenever you're ready to spread your wings and go on a music journey again, I'll see you there.